Welcome back. This is Fantastic Pains and How We Hide Them. I'm not Chris.
And I'm not Karina.
But we're here together.
As usual.
For more fun times and
shenanigans.
If this is your very first time joining us, welcome to the show. This is our sibling duo podcast / YouTube channel about life with chronic and invisible conditions, both mental and emotional.
I'm mental and she's emotional.
It's true. Where can they find us?
You can find us all sorts of places. We're on YouTube if you want to watch us, which we suggest because there's lots of tomfoolery. I had to find a really good word that wasn't abrasive.
That is a good one.
There's ways to listen to us. We're on Podbean, we're on Spotify, Audible, Google, until Google changes, and not Apple.
Not Apple. Basically everything but Apple.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
If I did my job right, and then you can join us.
Yes, you can. It's exciting. You can join us in our Discord, which is linked in the description box, which is full of really wonderful people who all have they're just the best. We like them and therefore we keep them. And you could be one of them. Come join us and then you can participate in our lives, which we host Friday evenings and Saturday mornings Mountain Time.
Yes.
You can also pop into those lives on YouTube and chat with us, which is a lot of fun.
Oh my God.
It's a great time.
Mm-hmm.
You can help us plan episodes. Good stuff.
And then also Patreon plug. We have a Patreon. If you want to help support us, you like what we do, join the Patreon.
Buy us a coffee.
Buy us a coffee, please.
Always a coffee.
And thanks for those who are.
Yes, absolutely. We appreciate you guys. And we hope that you enjoy the unedited episodes. Good stuff. All righty. It is time, yes?
Yeah.
It is time for the weekly recap.
Check in.
I sang it wrong, and then he was...
Well, you sang it fine as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
I just wanted to wait. I was
like...
building the suspense. Anyways. I was trying to thing out, okay?
Yeah. I'm going to go first. My week was chaos. It was just straight chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Body-wise, it wasn't horrible. It was just... Well, we had a storm break, which was not fun. I didn't like that. That was not good. And I left work on Tuesday early because I was running a fever and I was like, what is going on? I feel so hot. I'm like burning up and exhausted and I just don't feel good. And so I went home with a fever, took a COVID test, and then the storm broke and then I was fine.
Yeah.
And so I took a COVID test the next morning and went back to work. And then, oh my God.
There's so many and-thens this week for her.
After all of the chaos of my week, I won't go into all the stuff because it's boring job things. But Friday, God looked down upon me and said, all right, fine.
No.
You get to have a break.
No, he did not.
He did.
No. He said, sinner! And cast down.
Smote the squirrel.
Yes. That was a very bad squirrel.
So I got to work on Friday and I was confused because some of the doors, like our double doors that are key carded, were propped open with chairs. And I was walking in and I'm like, what in the heck is happening?
Yeah.
And my coworker, Chris, comes down the hall and he goes, you want to hear the news? You want to hear what's going on? And I was like, yes. What is it? Oh, no. And he says, this morning, our coworker, Jalissa, was in the parking lot watching this squirrel chewing on a power cable. And then there was a great big pop and the squirrel fell to the ground dead and we had no power in most of our classrooms. So we had a squirrel-induced snow day today, or on
Squirrel
Friday.
day.
Squirrel day. And there was even a funeral for the squirrel. It was really funny. There was a violin involved. The flower poured out a drink next to it. Like, high respects to the squirrel. But yeah, we had a squirrel day. It was exciting.
Squirrel. I wonder what this does.
Pop. And then, yeah, it was good stuff. The most ridiculous way to get a day off.
Yeah.
Oh, so crazy. But yeah, and then I had therapy, and that was okay. She's starting to finally understand that, like, I'm well versed in my own brain.
Yeah.
And my own emotions and all of that. And is starting to like really understand, which is interesting. So building a stronger rapport and just working.
Yeah.
Just working. But yeah, and then we had a lovely live yesterday and a wonderful live this morning. And yeah, it was good stuff.
Yeah.
Your week was a little bit more chaotic in a not so fun way.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
No.
We had a loss in Jen's family this week, which was rough. But we went up and we were able to visit them before they passed, which was nice. It's just been hard on Jen. And then Jen messed up her ankle, and then her onboarding is messed up because her ID didn't work for some reason, and we have to go to the DMV for that. It's just been weird.
So weird.
And then all week I've been having random symptoms that have been throwing me back into sepsis land, like reminders or things that have been like, last time you had this happened.
Okay, so back up. So when was sepsis land?
April 11th.
Feels like not that long ago.
It was a while at this point.
That's been a while now.
We're past 6 months.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you had an experience with sepsis that was
not so also good. This is the topic for the episode. We're going to be talking about PTSD induced medical shenaniganry.
Yeah.
There's the title for you, Jen. Have fun. So yeah, I woke up one day with sepsis and pneumonia, walking pneumonia. Yeah. So I wasn't even coughing, just was having a hard time breathing and was hallucinating severely and couldn't stay conscious for more than like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Like I would black out, fall to the floor over and over again, got down the stairs somehow, sat in the chair, fell out of the chair, walked outside, fell outside. I tumbled though.
No blood pressure at all.
No, I was not doing well, and I was hallucinating the whole time.
Yeah. And
it was just horrid. And it was 3 or 4 days in total.
Yeah.
Technically 4, but we did the live stream.
I know we did the live too, and I was like, "What
that
in
live.
the heck,
I was like,
sir?"
I need something
but
normal.
He wanted to do it, so it was Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was a Wednesday,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, because we did the Saturday live,
not the Friday.
Right. We almost did the Friday. I'm pretty sure is what it was.
Oh, that's right. And I was like, "You need to rest. You just got home. Stop it."
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But it was not great. I almost died. And then I've been processing that in bits throughout, because like during it's like I was explaining before, I was compartmentalizing as it was happening. I was just like task focused on what do I need to do to get better.
Yeah.
Like sleep. I can sleep even though I was having horrible nightmares.
Yeah.
And horrible hallucinations. Like I was hearing talking the whole time, which was really creepy. And music, mostly music.
That's so weird.
I hear music when I hallucinate.
Huh.
So if I ever go fully crazy, music. It's my language.
He'll live in a musical.
Yeah, it's true. But this week I was having problems breathing during my sleep and woke up with like the same breathing problems that it felt like when I had the pneumonia.
Yeah.
Which was not great. And I kept waking up that night like gasping for air and was like, what's going on? This is really weird. And then I also had like a day where I had really bad nightmares, like these forever nightmares that I've talked about. Check last week. I talked about it in depth. But I had 2 of those, and I kept having these like alarms go off for maybe this is something you should be looking at.
Right.
And like I'm hyper vigilant to it now. So I'm like, this isn't good. Yeah. Maybe I should have that looked at. Oh, the other one was that I had a toothache, and what started the sepsis was a tooth infection that got into my jaw. So I was like, oh great, I have a toothache. Panic. Which I need to address, but panic is not the call for that moment.
Right.
But that's where the brain wants to go, at least at the moment. And then I was like, we should talk about this on the podcast. Yeah. Because it's been in my brain. Yeah. And then we got some really great input from everybody.
Right.
Talking about other aspects of PTSD regarding medical care and how it's built into EDS and how you experience it in different ways all the time.
Yeah.
And you don't really acknowledge it. You don't really think of it as that, but it is. If you're having a very adverse reaction to medical care after receiving medical care.
Right. Well, and especially if you're like having nightmares and you've been having nightmares since it happened. It's been a long time running. It's not just a processing thing anymore. It's a like that messed you up. That was really scary.
Well, and I have PTSD from other things from when I was younger, so I can identify it. Like I understand it, and I'm on medications to help curb it. Yeah. But they might need to be upped. Some of them, like you were saying, like the nightmare medications especially, would be really nice. But it's just crazy to think like 4 days of me laying in bed really could cause that much trauma.
Right. Right. Not being conscious for a lot of it.
Right. Even, like I wasn't there.
Right.
I was in every other place but there.
Well, and I think part of like that in of itself,
it's scary.
That's traumatic.
Yeah.
To be like, I can't be in my body.
Mm-hmm.
I can't like keep up with what's happening to me and with me and around me, and I'm not even totally aware of what like treatments I'm getting or how bad it is, or because you didn't understand.
No, I couldn't. I was in an AMS.
Happened.
I was in an altered mental state to the point where I couldn't remember anything.
Yeah.
I couldn't recall words that were said to me. Like they did that test for like say this, say this, say this, and then I would say like the word to before. Yeah. Because I literally could not take in anything.
Yeah.
Oh, it was bizarre and not fun. I mean, I laughed at the time because I was like, this is really embarrassing. I don't know the words. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what year it is. I don't know who I am.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and to be like half aware of that.
Yeah.
Is like, because we're so, I don't know, like aware of ourselves and in control most of the time.
Right.
That to be out of control like that is terrifying.
Right.
That's scary to be like, well, stuff could have happened to me and I would not have known it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's like the biggest, I think, of all the thoughts is that like I could have just had a nightmare and died.
Right. Right.
Then that would have been it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, no, thank you.
Yeah. You're like, if I'm going to die, I'd like to be there for it. I'd like to be there. I don't know.
No, seriously. That's
like
a
legit
weird
thing
thought
to say, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, also, I'm not that old.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, and you have like things to live for. And
oh, I mean, yeah, reasons galore. Everyone got mad at me for almost dying. They said they'd kill me if I died. Come on, guys. Be better.
Be better. Oh, my God. But yeah, we were going to talk about kind of PTSD as it is, right? Like within medical field, within being somebody who has to receive medical care on the regular, or somebody who's had procedures done, or because there's so many different forms of PTSD when it comes to medicine.
Right. And I don't want to be like, we're throwing around PTSD. Like,
no.
Like I have a diagnosis. I have CPTSD and PTSD.
Yeah.
I have like legit PTSD.
Right.
And we're going to say it a lot, but I mean, that's what it is. When you're having adverse like life reactions to an external stimuli.
Yeah.
Right. Like
that are ongoing and debilitating.
Oh my God. And reinforced and then reinforced and then reinforced. And then
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like at least the people who have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome or are suspected to have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome or another connective tissue disorder.
Yeah.
We all have this like underlying level of PTSD/CPTSD.
Yeah.
Because it takes so long for us to be diagnosed. And you have to hear so many dismissals and
not just dismissals,
criticisms.
Either. It's everybody has had this that we've talked to, and we've talked to a lot of people about this. But you have you're too young, you're too overweight, you're too
thin,
right? Yeah. You're too small. You need to eat more. You need to put on weight. You need to gain weight. You need to exercise more. You need to do all these other things to take care of this problem that they don't want to address.
Right.
Or admit that you have, or even entertain that you might have a problem.
Right.
Like, and it's all you. Every solution is you're the problem.
Right. Well, there's so much like blame shifting, and especially if you find out there is a problem and you come back to that doctor with like, well, here's the and then they go, well, why did you wait so long to blah 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 blah?
Because I was told there was no problem, guy.
Or the other one is like, well, I was told that I couldn't have that surgery because I was too young, or I was told that there wasn't enough damage to worry about it, or I was told that blah blah blah. All of these things, and then you come back when you find an answer and they go, well, I don't understand why you waited this long.
This is something we're experiencing all over again through our brother.
Yes.
Who will come to us and be like, oh yeah, I had it looked at, and they said there wasn't enough damage. Like, did they do a soft tissue scan? No,
it was an X-ray.
Like, well, why didn't they do the soft tissue scan? I don't know.
Because they're stupid.
It's like, come on, man, you gotta
right.
At least let us know so we can tell you that's dumb.
Right.
Get your shit together.
Get someone who can help you advocate if you cannot self-advocate.
Yeah, find an elder
for
zebra.
things like that. Holy cow. Yeah. Oh, it's so frustrating.
Consult the community. Always.
Yes. Because that's the thing is like the community knows. The community understands where you're coming from. Mm-hmm. And they're going to have answers that we don't.
Right.
All the time. All the time where I'm like, I'm having this thing and I'll have like Ruth maybe come back and be like, you should have this very specific thing looked at because I've had that like set of symptoms. I was dismissed for years and years and years. Don't let it get that far.
Yeah. But, I mean, we had that moment this week.
Yeah.
When with my breathing, she was like, you need to redo your sleep study. I was like, yeah, that makes sense because I might not be breathing, not because of like a physical problem. It would be central nervous system, which is like the 1%. But of course, it's a 1% with us.
We have autonomic nervous system problems anyway.
Right.
And breathing is part of that automatic function.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we struggle with, we know we struggle with our breathing. I breathe incredibly shallowly most of the time.
Yeah.
Taking a deep breath is friggin' hard for me. I can't do that. That's weird. But we are used to functioning on a very low level of oxygen to begin with.
Right.
Because first of all, we're in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, our breathing doesn't always work the way. That thing where you forget to breathe.
Oh, yeah, totally.
All the time. Or when you're yawning all day because you can't get enough oxygen. Or because the POTS is not allowing the blood flow to get to the brain. Like all of these things affect everything.
Right.
And then they want to say like, oh, well, it's really rare. It's probably not that.
Right. Which again,
and you're like, but
when you come to expect that answer where everything you're trying to do to better your life is a you problem or nothing. That's a problem. And we're not talking like 1 or 2 visits. Like,
no,
I did 8 years of intense trying and doing all the things that I was told to do to fix my problem to the point where I couldn't move my arms. Mm-hmm. I couldn't lift my arms up. I couldn't hold my children who were little. Like I couldn't pick up baby Rory.
Yeah.
Just couldn't do it. It was too painful and I would drop him. So I was like, I can't do that anymore. And then, I finally found what am I thinking of? Nurse practitioner.
Oh yeah.
NPs saved the world. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Who took me seriously and was like, let's actually get some imaging done. Has anyone done that? And I was like, no. Like, how long has this been going on? 8 years. And no one did imaging? Like, no. And then she didn't stop at just x-rays. She was like, let's do deep tissue scans. Mm-hmm. And then she put us on tamarfans. And then she just tried different things and was, with what she could do.
Somebody who asked questions beyond like, how is this your fault?
Right. But that was 8 years of I'm the problem or it's not real.
Right. Well, and hearing that over and over and over again is so soul crushing when you are struggling so hard and you are hurting so badly and nobody believes you.
Right.
You can't get doctors to even look at you. Mm-hmm. And so like people's lives fall apart. People stop being able to work because they're not being treated. Nobody listens to them. How are they supposed to carry on like that? How is anybody supposed to carry on like that? And we become this like it husks you out.
Yeah. And then they wonder why we don't go in.
Exactly. Well, and that's the biggest problem is that people, and this is why I don't believe the statistic that there are like EDS affects women more than men.
Right.
I don't think that's true. I think that men are more likely to give up after being dismissed. Mm-hmm. Whereas women are like, no, this is really like a thing. Or we go in for different things. Whereas men are like, I heard a no. That's a blanket no for everything.
Yeah.
Whereas women are like, they said no for the hip.
Yeah.
Let me try the shoulder. Let me try the whatever.
I stomached everything until I was suicidal.
Yeah.
That was my turning point, was when I was like literally on the brink. I couldn't fathom existing anymore. Everything was horrible.
Yeah.
And I was the problem. And I couldn't figure out why I was the problem, why I couldn't keep up with anybody.
Yep. Yeah.
Because I was just years of that.
Yeah.
And then it was at that point, after I did the therapies and I did my 72-hour hold and everything, that I was like, I need the therapist was like, you need to get this looked at. This is like a legit problem for you. And I was like, okay, I'll do it again. And got lucky that I found someone good.
Yeah.
But imagine had I gone and seen another doctor who was like, what are you talking about? That would have been the end for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's intense. It's real. And it's baked into EDS.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard to get noticed.
Well, and we tend to, exactly. We tend to wait until it is dire before we're willing to have somebody look.
Yeah.
Because half the problem, and this is, I think Ruth was saying this the other day, where she's like, well, I can't ever get it to do it when the doctors are looking.
Exactly.
That is such a problem where you're like, I can't go get this taken care of until I know that the doctor's going to see something.
Yeah.
I can't have them look at it. I can't schedule an appointment 3 weeks out because it might just disappear. I don't know. Who knows? Or I might go in and it's calm that day. Right. Or it's the wrong time of day. Or the conditions are whatever.
Yep. Yeah.
And so we avoid care. And lots of people avoid care. Like, look at the dentist.
Oh, yeah. We're going to throw dentists under the bus in this one, too.
There's a lot of...
Think of a positive dentist experience. Exactly. There isn't one. It's like the statistic, right? Like cutting dentists out of your life is like a 30% chance of prolonging your life.
What?
Yeah. You're just happier. It's weird. Just cut them out.
No more dentists. Boycott. No, don't do that.
You need
Go to the dentist. Are you not hearing us when we talk about sepsis? Come on.
Find a good one.
Yeah, and don't let them bully you, because they do.
Yeah.
And they will, and it's a mess. But people without chronic illness have PTSD from the dentist.
Yeah. I'm just like, as a relatable point, I think that's a good one. Dentist experience. Yeah. Like, imagine that with your everyday care now. Like, daycare. Your everyday care. I need someone to take care of me every day. I need my daycare.
And a nap.
I get a nap?
And a nap.
Yes. Oh, snap. I love daycare.
Nappity naps. Yeah.
Where to go from here? EDS, built-in trauma.
Yes.
And then gaslight, blame shifting, shaming. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, absolutely. Like weight, age, treatment, or lack thereof. All of those things cause trauma within your experience of the medical systems.
I got it. This was when I was chasing all day. I finally got to it.
Good.
When you have, like, even say you get diagnosed with EDS, you go in and you've done everything you're supposed to, you have to have like surgeries done. Yeah. You have one bad surgery. That's all it takes to put you off of actually ever taking care of a thing ever again.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we've been lucky. We both had really bad left hip surgeries, which was the last one we both did. But also, it's the last one we both did. So that might say something. just saying. It's been a minute.
For me, it's the convenience factor. I'm like, I don't have time for surgery right now.
For me, it's the I haven't damaged it enough yet.
That too. I tried to go in for my ankles, and they were like, not yet.
Give it time. Run around.
It sucks.
Find a marathon.
I'm sorry.
Run the marathon.
Did you run the marathon?
Triathlon. Try the triathlon.
Make sure you roll it twice a day.
Oh, I do. Every day.
But again, it's all soft tissue damage.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because I do roll it twice a day.
But think about that. Like, you know, you have one bad like shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
And then you're put off everything.
Or think about like medications. That's a big one. Like you have a bad experience with a medication and you just stop taking medications altogether.
Luckily for me, I'm persistent and spiteful.
Yeah.
I think if you add a little spite to your life,
oh my God,
when it comes to medical care, is actually pretty helpful.
Yes.
Because if you're willing to do everything they say, even when you know it's not going to work or
it's going to be really bad,
You let it happen. Yes, I will try another patch. Oh, did the last one put me in the hospital? Let's do it again. Oh, it's fentanyl this time? Fantastic. Try me.
Make sure there's some Narcan nearby.
Oh my God. Make sure there's some Narcan nearby.
Make sure there's a hospital nearby.
Yeah. Well, and
because I'm going to do it. It's going to suck and it's not going to work. And bad things are going to happen.
The spike got me through testing everything on the Medicaid list at the time, which was a lot safer than it is now. They moved fentanyl up.
Is like, yeah, exactly.
That's crazy to me.
Stop.
There's a fentanyl problem, and they're like, Medicaid.
But they're still blaming Percocet.
Oh,
like,
totes.
Fentanyl is the entire opiate problem currently.
Well, it's killing the most is the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Percocet, no.
Yeah, but I've tried everything. I've been on fentanyl. I've been on morphine. I've been on everything.
Vicodin,
I've tried everything.
Butrans, yeah.
And then all the extended release formulations of that, Dilaudid. And there's another one.
I remember when you were on Dilaudid. That was not a good time for you.
No, none of the experiment with pain meds time was fun.
No.
You think, oh, Chris was on all the pain meds. He must have had a party. No, I was vomiting and in pain all the time. And I would try. I would give it like a full 6-week trial for everything.
Oh my God, really?
Well, there were a couple where I was like 2 weeks in and I was like, I can't.
I
can't. Yeah. And then the patches literally send me to the hospital twice.
Well, because the absorption is not predictable.
No, and for me, I'm like, hey, let's melt it and then just absorb it.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah. But all of those things, like... And mental health is the other one. Like, you have one bad experience with mental health, and then you swear off therapy for the rest of your life.
She speaks from experience.
I was never, like, unready to go back to mental health.
You were, in a way, because it was a weapon for a long time.
Yes.
You were open to seeking help for yourself, though.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, you weren't like, oh, no, I'll never do a therapist. Like, you're like, if I do it, great. Yeah. But like for the longest time, it was a weapon.
Yes, it was like
you're bad. We're going to use this as a punishment, and we will make it a punishment if we find a therapist that likes you. No, we're going to find one that we can control.
Yeah, that was fun. I didn't like that time in my life.
No, and I've had bad therapists too.
Yeah,
like the one that told me that she couldn't help me. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're just very self-aware. There's nothing I can do for you.
Or that therapist most recently for me who was like, what did he say about me being in pain? All of the like things that I was like, I'm ready to strangle you. Hello. Would you like to die today?
Mansplaining your pain to you.
Yeah.
There was that doctor that was doing that. Yeah.
And I was like, you don't get to talk to me about my pain. I work with a pain psychologist specifically. Mm-hmm. Shut up. Shut up. You don't get to talk anymore.
You see.
And he called me like I had no hope.
Oh, that was yeah.
I was defeatist also.
Yeah.
And I had no hope.
I've had bad PTs.
No wonder people worry about me because I'm just hopeless. That nothing will ever get better and I'll be sick forever. Duh. That's called real life. Like, we live in it currently. I'm sick and I will always be sick. The end.
I said that to a PT once. Called me a defeatist and I never saw him again.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to come in and be like, I can fix all your problems.
If
it's like, I have a connective tissue disorder. You can't fix all of my problems. You are the problem. You're going to have me move. You're going to damage me.
Or they shame you for not hoping for a cure.
Right.
I'm like,
excuse me.
What?
I'm perfectly content to not. It's like
if wishes were fishes, bro.
Did you see the quote that Ruth posted in?
Maybe.
The man who got to Everest first and then became paralyzed in a helicopter crash.
What is it?
It's a really good quote. Let me pull it up because it's like, despite the situation, you can still have good things.
Oh, okay.
Like, he accepted that he had a condition because he had a condition.
Right. Well, and I don't understand why acceptance is bad.
Here you go.
That bothers me.
I do not want to tell you that the monumental inconvenience can be, I do want to tell you that the monumental inconvenience can be lived through, lived with, loved with, laughed with, surrounded, shared, transcended, and that you have not been deprived of choice. You do have a lot of options. You can be okay if you choose to be okay. The future, however unfathomable, is yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
I can be content and happy with the fact that I have EDS.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't
well,
need
that's the thing is like there is this like duality in the nature of being ill.
Yeah.
Which is this sucks and it's okay.
Right. Which really throws off people.
Lots of people. They don't
when you
like
say that, when you're like, oh God, everything sucks. What's wrong? Nothing.
I'm good.
I'm fine.
It's fine.
You just
I'm in horrible
said-
pain, but it's fine.
Yeah.
But it is. It's fine.
It's a chronic illness thing.
Right.
We should make that a shirt. I'm in pain.
But it's
But
fine.
it's fine.
Yeah. My coworker, did I tell you this? That she knows not to be like, it's okay, you'll get through this.
Oh, yeah.
She just tells me to suck it up.
You should tell that story about the kid who stood up for you, though.
Yeah. One of my kids got upset because she told me to suck it up. I was
buttercup.
like complaining about being in pain, and she was like, yeah, well, suck it up. We got stuff to do.
Yeah.
And I laughed it off and I walked away, and my kid went up to her and was like, you're really mean to Karina.
She's in
She's
actual
in pain, you know?
And then she had to explain.
She had to explain that I
Yeah.
was like, no, I don't like the soft stuff.
Yeah.
Tell me to suck it up. Because every time she does, I smile.
Yeah.
Which is how you know it works.
Mhm.
She had to explain that to her husband, too, that she can't be, like, soft with me. She just
Oh,
has
no.
to be mean. And I'm like, yeah, that's my love language.
Okay, so, like, I have a similar experience. I have the opposite experience, which is healthy for me because it teaches me things that I need to learn about myself, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
But with Pedro,
Oh.
he is the sweetest. He was on season 2.
Yeah.
He's a registered nurse, and I mean, he was taking care of Jen's grandmother. He's a wonderful guy. I love him.
Mhm.
Everything about him. He's just great. But he babies the shit out of me.
Yeah, he does, actually.
He's like, bro, no.
Sit down.
Yes, sir.
I will do the things. You sit there. Here's your water and a blankie.
Pretty much. And then so like the other day I was up there with Pedro and my mother-in-law, and my mother-in-law hugs me. She's like, I never know how hard to hug you because like I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah.
Which is that's a fine response, like because it's not like she was being delicate.
Yeah.
Pedro hover hugs me.
Oh my god.
I will squish this guy and he's like,
My grandfather does that to me.
don't hover hug me. Give me a squish, bro.
Yeah.
I want that hug.
Yeah. Please don't be like.
But like that's the thing. I have the opposite experience.
Yeah.
You have someone who's like just mean and nasty to you. You're
Yeah.
like, hell yeah. I have people that are sweet and adorable to me, and I'm like, stop.
But also thank you.
Yeah, no. Seriously. It was a good lesson.
Adorable. Yeah. Should we take a break? Or is there a point we want to get to first? I'm just looking at the time, but I don't know how much time we've been at it either.
If we think about it, and then I do Naruto.
Did you know
hand
time's not
signs.
real?
Time is an illusion. Reality is an illusion. There's like a self-contained bubble of reality that
We
in
are
quantum physics
a
is like,
hallucination of our own creation.
or someone else. I mean, what if we are just sentient?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's our
Okay, fine. No, it's
collective-
fine. Great. Thanks, reality. Thanks the entire world for making me.
You also made you.
Yeah, but if it's by vote, I didn't.
We screwed up. We put 2 of us on the same timeline, and that was
That was a fine idea if we were normal people, but one of us ticked a box and one of us didn't. And I know who did and I know who didn't.
What was the box?
Do I want to have a shitty experience but love life? There was the option to just love life. You
I
just
did
had to
not
go a
tick
box
that
down.
box.
You were like, challenge mode.
I ticked
Chris will
the
love
box.
this one.
No. I ticked the box for I would like to experience life as my own sibling, please.
No, you wrote that in.
It was my own.
This
vote
was
in.
how they had to weasel us in. Okay, an experiment, if you will.
It's a rousing success.
Great. Also, have you heard about Apothecana? Or what was it? Milk?
Milk.
Fairplay milk? Yeti wants everybody to know that Fairplay chocolate milk is the best milk that's healthy for you. It's lactose free and it tastes like a dream. And it's healthy for you. So go out and try it today. Also, Apothecana, we love you. If you don't know Apothecana, look it up. Apothecanna. Apothecana.
Oh,
it's a CBD lotion. It heals all nerve pains, and it's not snake
it hears
juice.
them all.
Oil salesman guy.
Or Snape.
It's not Severus Snape. So, what do you got to do on your break?
They need to drink some water.
Hydrate or dihydrate. Take your meds, please. Stop putting it off, Chris. Take your meds.
Your alarm went off a while ago.
Yeah, Karina, I'm gonna message you.
Ooh. While you're editing.
While I'm editing.
Take your meds.
Take your meds.
I'm gonna be like, oh, frick. Ow. Stop spasming. Stop.
Welcome to EDS. Spasm hour. Oh, I can see it. It's making your hand twitch.
Oh, that was the other thing that happened this week. My hand locked the hell up.
Oh, yeah.
That was so weird.
And my phone died, so I couldn't help her through it.
That must have been a like a movement disorder thing. That hurts. Come on. Stop. It was very weird because it was like these 3 fingers curled in, and then my whole wrist wanted to lock in.
That's what it sounds like.
And then I couldn't get it to unlock, but we got like finger by finger. But this last one was still like, oh, it was really bad. And it hurt a lot. Like face a lot.
Yeah.
That was bad. Didn't like it. Sorry.
Side note. Anyways.
Yeah, take your meds, drink some water.
Eat a snack because...
You are a snack.
Bingo.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Maybe go outside and do something nice.
Touch grass.
Touch grass.
Yeah.
If it's raining or whatever, cuddle something. Get cozy.
Just something. Like grab the nearest raccoon.
They're cuddly. If they got foam on the mouth, that just means they're fun addition.
Avoid the teeth.
Yeah.
You should be fine.
We're not morticians. Don't listen to us. Also, if you're bipolar, check in with yourself.
Yes.
Are you feeling manic? Are you not? Enjoy it. Take it in.
Have you made any ridiculous purchases lately?
I have not. But that's because I have no money. Solution. Don't have the money.
Just get broke, bro.
Get broke, bro. But yeah, check in. Know yourself better.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back.
Indeed. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, hi. Do you like Fantastic Pains? Would you like to see more of the Fantastic Pains podcast and crew? If so, you should join our Patreon. The Patreon, as we like to call it, is the new home of our behind-the-scenes content, full uncut recording sessions, our short-form videos such as TikToks and YouTube Shorts, and our past live streams. You can also find some Patreon exclusive content such as our new music reviews, lost episodes, and is the new home of our Mini Voices series, all of which can be found in our higher tier dubbed The Only Pains. The Patreon is the best way to support the podcast, so whether you want to see more of us or just want to help us grow, feel free to sign up following the link in the description below, and hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of the show.
Welcome back. How was your break? Shallots.
Did you do the things?
Shallots.
Let's shall.
Did you do the things?
Did you do any of the things? It's okay if you didn't do them all.
Some of them. Just
be nice to yourself. Remember. And speaking of, I'm gonna take my meds because this is my alarm for take your meds.
Let's all applaud. She's taking her meds.
Yeah.
Everybody together. Send your energy.
That's weird.
Okay.
I'll just not take them if you.
No, don't do that. Just take them.
I did. They're in my mouth right now.
Good.
Under my tongue.
All right. So in this half, we wanted to talk about how we are at risk for ignoring or being ignored because of bad treatment PTSD situations.
Well, and the things that we're made to cope with already.
Yeah. Yes.
We get a little bit too good at coping sometimes.
Yeah. We overcope, if you will.
Which is why we don't have things treated until it's dire.
Yeah.
Because we feel like we're expected to cope, and we are told that we are expected to cope.
Yeah.
A lot of the time. So
literally one of my hospital visits, I went in because of my shoulder pain. I couldn't move my shoulder, my right shoulder at all. And they said, well, it's not urgent, so there's nothing we can do.
Why are you here?
And then I was like, well, what do I do? And they were like, we don't know. They didn't even like suggest going to like a primary care or anything. Just like, we don't know. No,
we don't care is really what that meant.
They don't care, and they probably thought I was pill seeking, but
yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like when you go in with pain, it's really hard to get around that stigma in general. Yeah. Even though usually when we go in, we don't even accept They're like,
Right.
do you want some Tylenol? And we're like, nah,
No.
I'm good. I just want to make sure it's okay.
Yeah. Well, we've been trained to do that, really,
Yes.
which is fine.
They offer like something good. You're like, maybe. I
Are
don't
you
know.
going to
Did I
hate
drive
me?
myself? Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Am I here alone? Will you be my friend?
Will you be my friend? Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no, we're at risk for ignoring important symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend who walked around on a broken hip for like 2 weeks before even thinking like, oh, this might not be normal. It's fine. Went in and they found that it was broken hip, that she was just like, la, 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 la. And like my example is like I had shingles for a full week before I even bothered to get that treated or even looked at, like even questioning it. I was in like an online chat with a doctor.
I remember
when
that.
I was like, I have a thing and it hurts.
It hurts
a lot.
bad.
It's been there for like a week and it still hurts really bad. Here's a picture. And they were like, that's shingles and it's too late to do anything about it. So
Good job.
don't scratch
You
it.
powered through shingles because of PTSD.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that's part of what drives some of the medical anxieties,
Mhm.
is the idea that like, what if this is the time where it's important?
Right.
Which makes sense. Like we should be questioning symptoms, especially if they are like severe symptoms or recurring symptoms, which like you're having both, and that's really hard because you're like,
Well, that's the thing. Like I'm hypervigilant because I put those things off too long.
Yes.
Like I literally was like, oh, this is fine.
Yeah.
Everything's on fire. I'm fine. Because
Yeah.
I'm used to that being the truth of the matter.
That's gross. I just burped pills.
Oh, I hate that. Pill burps are the worst. Just
Okay.
saying.
It's because it's sitting right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
But yeah, so now I'm hypervigilant. I'm still suffering PTSD, but it's making me anxious on the other end.
Right.
Right? Like I'm not afraid to go in. I'm like, I need to go in maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You're like, is this the emergency?
Which is also not good because I'm being hypervigilant, but I'm still ignoring it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, because you recognize your hypervigilance,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
recognize the medical anxiety within that hypervigilance.
Yeah.
And so now there's that game of like second guessing yourself and then second guessing the second guess.
Oh, it's just anxiety.
Just anxiety.
This is the one time it's okay to say it's just anxiety. And I'm not seeing a doctor to hear them tell me that. So, hey.
Yeah. Stop saying that to patients.
Oh, you're just anxious.
It's horrible. Like, oh, are you sure you're just not a woman and you're on your period forever? You've been on your period your whole life? You don't know what it feels like, though.
It's just anxiety.
It's just anxiety.
I'm not on my period. I'm just anxious.
You're just anxious about your period.
That doesn't explain a lot. That doesn't really fit.
What if you went in and the doctor's like, all right, so you have these symptoms and I'm a little concerned, and you turn it around and you're like, Uno reverse. It's just anxiety, doc.
Oh, you might be right. But wait a minute.
They're like, but your blood pressure. Nope.
But I'm a doctor.
Nope. I'm on my period.
Does that make sense? Could I make that make sense? Sure.
Sure.
Why not?
Here's your discharge paperwork. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Your like arm is hanging out of its.
Look at my anxiety. Anyways.
Sir, I'm having a lot of anxiety about my clearly broken arm.
That's how you supersede them. You beat them to it. I'm anxious about this severe problem I have. Can you solve the problem so the anxiety goes away? No, you're just gonna give me anxiety, man. Well,
I tried.
touche. You win this one, Doc.
You write it down in a notebook like this didn't work.
Strategy 305
Failed. Amazing. But all right, here we go. So there's one more thing that I want to touch on before we get to the advice portion, which is the idea that we continue to be invisible even if we are documented to have what we have, right?
Yes.
Like even if you have a diagnosis, you go in with a diagnosis. If you are not in the correct amount of visible pain, no. So if you are someone who And this is so hard. And I know we all go through this, right? Where it's like, how painful should this look? And does it look that way? But also, I don't even want to think about being that person in the ER. Like, oh my God. Ow,
I have an ingrown toenail. I'm going to cry about it. My soccer career is over.
I sprained my pinky.
Literally thing that I've heard for a girl that had an ingrown toenail.
Oh my God. That's the most ridiculous thing ever.
Yeah, it was after that dog attack and I broke my hand.
Oh, shit.
So I'm sitting there in actual pain and I drove myself home 19 hours from Deming to Aurora.
Yep.
And then went to the hospital. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Your toenail hurts. Great.
Or the one where you hear them next door and they're like, while the
and
doctor's
then,
there.
And then they stop and then they whisper.
And you're like, you're the problem.
Thanks, the problem.
Thank you. I am in pain. And
that
like,
happened to me.
What's your pain level? And you're like 8. And they're like, nuh-uh.
That happened to me when I went in for my back pain, when the rib got caught and ripped. And they sent me there for hours on the bed. And then they switched shifts and the new doc came on and was like, oh my God, you look really uncomfortable. Are you okay? And I was like, no, I'm in a ton of pain. And he was like, oh, okay.
Let's fix that maybe.
What happened? And then I explained it. And he was like, yeah, that doesn't sound good. Let's do an image. And they did an image.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted. I was there for like 10 hours.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's such a mess. And it's hard because, we have to learn to unmask at a certain point. But we also are like, no, I've been in 8 pain and I will still sitting in one place. And usually it looks like this.
Yeah.
And then you Lamaze breathe.
You do.
But then when they talk to you, you're like, okay, here we go. Yes, speaking. And then they're like, clearly you're not in that much pain. And you're like, I hate you.
Oh, yeah.
I hate you.
That's, oh, God. The fact that that's like a
stupid.
Universally understood thing is so sad.
Oh, it's awful. It's the most jaded thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I get that you work emergency and I get that like my insides are not on my outsides, but also I'm in a lot of pain I'm here.
Wouldn't it be nice if there was just like a pain gauge above your head, like a meter? You go,
right? Like that.
Here.
Right there.
Why is it so high? That's why I'm here. Maybe
like,
you could solve the problem.
Wow, we should do something.
I think your gauge is broken. Oh, of course, the gauge.
It's the gauge.
Is
It's hypersensitive. I hate hearing that when people are like, "You're hypersensitive to pain because you're in pain a lot, and also you take pain medication, which makes you more sensitive to the pain."
You become
that you're
hypersensitive,
and you're like,
you're in your pain meds.
But no.
Yeah.
No, incorrect. You are
It is
wrong.
a thing that happens to people.
Yes.
But I don't think it's as rampant as they want to make it seem.
No,
but it is a good excuse for them to come at you and change your care and agenda seek.
Well, and there's a difference between two, because if you look at like cortisol, which is like the big culprit, we like our baseline is a certain amount of pain.
Yeah.
And so we function at that baseline like normal people function without pain.
Exactly. I was going to say, like, when they look at, like, the stress levels on top of what you're saying, and they line it up, they're like, but wait a minute.
Yeah. And you're like, well, I'm not stressed about my pain anymore because it's going to be there forever.
I have come to terms.
This is a forever thing, and I don't have the energy or the time to be like stressed out about it all the time.
Yeah.
I would not be able to function in life.
Nope.
And I understand that there are people who are just starting that journey.
And are in that.
And are learning that.
Yeah.
And it's really difficult. But for people who have been in pain forever, can you please maybe do a study on that?
Yeah.
Because I would really like to know some like information on other people who have
I would like a study that doesn't have an agenda
really
that is aimed at painting us negatively.
Right.
Because most studies seem to have an angle.
Yeah.
And are very biased.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. We can dream.
Yeah. And stop sending me to PT. And stop sending me to OBGYN. Thank you.
Me too. I hate going to the OBGYN. They're always like, why are you here? And then they stick things that shouldn't be in things and things. And then my things aren't having a good thing.
Secret uterus all over again.
I really wish they would find it already.
That baby is way past term.
Anyways, advice.
Yes.
Advice for the newbies. Let's start there.
Yeah. So moving forward, how newbie are you thinking?
Oh, we're talking newbie. Like people who have just had maybe their first or third range,
yeah.
like a range
Yeah.
of like turn downs from doctors. Because that's disheartening.
Oh, so you're losing hope.
Yes.
Yes.
That's that face. That
First and foremost, acknowledge that like what you're going through is valid and it's real and it's not fair and it sucks and I'm sorry. From the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry. Like we've all gone through it. We've all been there. We are all still going through it. We're going to go through it for a very long time. The sting gets better. I mean, it's still...
It does.
There will be other stings, but you'll become desensitized to them.
Yeah.
If you prioritize yourself.
Which is the key here.
Yeah.
Don't let them tell you that you're the problem.
Yeah.
When you know, and this is something that we've had doctors say to us, that EDS patients know more about their body than most people.
Yes.
Because we have to be.
Yeah.
You just grow up knowing what your body's doing when it's
Right.
doing weird things.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just a thing. So if you know it, then I don't want to say hunt for the doctor that will give you the answer you want, because that's not what you want. You want the answer.
Yeah.
The right
You
answer.
want somebody who's going to be curious.
Yes.
You want somebody who's going to question what's going on and not in a like, are you sure?
Mhm.
But in a like, oh, that's super weird. I
Mhm.
wonder why that's happening.
Example.
We
brought up our doctors
Mhm.
what we thought it was. Like we knew we were on to something when it came to connective tissue disorders.
Yeah.
We didn't know EDS.
Mhm.
I found it. We talked it over, and then
Yeah.
she presented it to someone, and then she did the genetics test.
Yep. Well, before that, though, I presented it to someone and I
Yeah.
heard my no, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I heard my,
Hard
well,
no.
you don't need a diagnosis to be treated. We treat it all the same, which is not true. Don't let people tell you that. It's not true. There is a reason we need a diagnosis, and the reason is appropriate care.
Mhm.
It's not about labels. It's not about collecting diagnoses. It's about receiving appropriate care because you deserve that. So I heard my first no there, and it was shattering.
It was.
But I had my disability buddy with Jen, and Jen was angry. I was very sad.
I
but
was
Jen was
there
with me.
in the room because
Yeah,
I told her.
I know.
I existed at the time. It's about me now. Hi. So she was devastated, and I put her back together single-handedly. Not her husband,
Duct tape.
not her accountability buddy. It was me. I did the work. No, I didn't. I was there, and I was also devastated and agreed with Jen that it was bullshit.
Yeah.
And Jen was like, "You're seeing a new doctor."
Yep.
And that was a great thing to hear for you, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because right off the bat, you didn't have to go home and sit with it and be
Yeah.
like, "Oh God, I wonder if I'm wrong."
Right. I got to be like, no, that was wrong. You didn't hear me out, and you're incorrect, and we're going to figure this out with somebody else.
Yeah.
And so I got a new doctor, and I said, this is what I think is going on.
Mm-hmm.
What can we do about this? And he said, here, go to the geneticist.
Right.
And so I did.
Right. Then you got the answer.
Yeah.
I was able to take it to my doctor who had never even heard of it.
Right.
And because my NP, nurse practitioner, was so amazing, she did the research and learned about it through me.
Yeah.
And then started to collect other zebras, other EDSers, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah. It's funny how it happens because there's a lot of word of mouth that goes on.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can find other zebras in your area, you might be able to find the doctors who are going to a good chance of getting the care that you need.
Right. The way to word it is someone who's familiar with EDS.
Yes.
Not someone who's like doling it out like everybody has EDS.
Yeah.
No. But someone who's recognized it, seen it, knows it, and can help you decide whether or not you have it. Like can help guide you through it.
Yeah. And if not, can help guide you to people who can give you the answers.
Yeah.
So that's really what it is. Like don't let those no's change your reality or your view of your reality, because it's your body and you live in it and you know that something is not right.
Yeah.
So yeah, finding those doctors and pushing until you find the doctor. We say doctor shop all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
and not in the negative.
Yeah, no.
It
just means that you're not going to stay with a doctor who's A, not interested in helping you, and B, has no idea what you're talking about and is not willing to learn.
Right. Because think of it this way. There are going to be primary care doctors who want to deal with kids who have colds. And then there are going to be ones that are interested in caring for more advanced cases.
Yes.
And they're going to treat you a certain way to try and like edge what they want to have happen.
Yeah.
I've experienced it thousands of times. Not thousands, but, you know, at least 50. Yeah. I could probably think of 50 times, like, because I've been around.
Yeah.
I've doctor shop.
Pause. Sorry.
Brilliant.
Done.
And I was able to find a team. I finally have a cohesive team that takes care of my mental, my physical, my emotional.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant. And I had to piece it together over, what, at this point, 7 years?
Yeah.
Like, that was when we had the diagnosis, like, set.
Yeah.
And
it's
then
been a while.
I've been able to put the team together. And I've just got the last piece of it kind of.
6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was able to do it because I looked around. I found people that wanted to be part of a team. Literally, my last doctor that I acquired was my pain management. And she was, like, interested in being part of a team.
Yeah.
With me. Like, she listens to what I have to say.
Right.
She takes it in. She then helps me to figure out what I need. It's fantastic.
Because you are the most valuable team member.
Yeah.
There. Like, you need a seat at the table. You
Yes.
need to have a say in what happens with your care. You need to be able to question things. You need to be able to bring things to the table without them accusing you of being the, like, WebMD
Right.
kid, right? The point is, like, you deserve to have a quality of life. You deserve to not have to think you're crazy all the time. Because we all feel that way.
We've all been treated that way.
Yes. And
That's
it's
the worst part.
exhausting. It's exhausting. And then to, like, question your own reality because of it. No, thank you. So
we hear from our community a lot that people have found us and said that they thought they were alone in everything.
Yes.
And that they were crazy and just had to deal with things on their own.
Yeah.
Which is not true. And through, like, not us specifically, the community especially, I'd say, like, joining the Discord and talking with people, they've been able to feel like they're not alone.
Right.
And understand that they're not dealing with, like, random things that can't be treated, or at least, like,
or in your head.
Right.
Or, yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I don't think we would have pursued our own diagnosis without having the connection between the two of us.
Right.
To back up, like, no, what you're going through is real and valid, and I'm going through the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And that's weird, and that says that, like, there's a link here.
Yeah.
But then again, like, to not feel alone is, like, half the battle right then and there. Because when you realize you're not alone, when you realize there's a whole group of people who are experiencing symptoms that are either identical or nearly identical or reminiscent of symptoms that you're experiencing, it's huge. It's huge to have names of conditions or symptoms to be able to bring to doctors.
Yeah.
Because we all know, like, communication can be really difficult. If you don't describe a symptom the correct way, they might not hear you.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
We have to present it 3 different ways to maybe the same doctor, and the third time they're like, "Oh, I get it."
Yeah. There's
but
a lot of that.
There's a lot of just, like, distilling it down if you talk it out with other people.
Yes.
Like other zebras especially.
Right. Yeah.
Which is just fantastic.
Yeah.
What we covered wasn't just for newbies, really. We kind of got into, like, the overall arching tactics.
So for newbies.
Well, no, newbies, I think we covered newbies.
Okay.
I'd say the people who have been in it for years and are still fighting for a diagnosis.
Yeah.
Maybe get an accountability buddy. Someone that you talk to about your symptoms when they're happening.
Yes.
Or someone you feel comfortable with talking about these things.
Yeah.
Who can back you up and help you kind of stand your ground against a scrutinizing doctor who's Like, well, when did this happen? What was this?
Right.
We do it.
How often does that happen?
We do it
Because you
between
can
the two
go
of us all
into
the time.
fight or flight, and then you just freaking freeze
Yep.
in the appointment, and you miss telling them about really important pieces.
Yep, that was me all the time until I made my wife come with me.
Yeah.
And into the office with me. Like, I was like, come with me.
Help me get
Because
this out. Yeah.
I would freeze up. I would forget things. I would, even if I was like journaling, it was just, it was a mess.
It's just not enough. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, and we do it through Messenger a lot.
Mhm.
We're like, I'm going to document this so that I can pull it up for later.
Yep.
Yeah. So find you that accountability buddy or that disability buddy even who can help you make yourself heard. The other part is that mental health piece is really important.
I think that gets overlooked
really
a lot.
important. And they might make you go through classes.
Yeah.
And my advice for that is to go through the classes with an open mind, not begrudgingly.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go through it and you are begrudging the whole process and you're saying, well, that's not me, well, that's not me, well, that's not me, you're not going to learn the valuable information that is factual.
Right.
And you're not going to make friends of the doctors.
Right.
Throughout.
They'll feel the uncooperation or the
Yes.
resentment or the barrier.
Right.
An example, I was in when I first started doing therapy seriously, with New Health, we did group sessions.
Oh yeah.
Nobody there had EDS. You know what I mean? None of it really applied directly to me, but the coping skills, the doctor experiences were the same. We were able to talk each other through things. So there is information to be gained from classes.
Yes.
It may not apply to you directly, but picking things
Right.
up as you go is fantastic. If you can go to your doctor afterwards and be like, well, I think this and this and this apply to me.
Mhm.
I could see how this would be helpful.
Yeah.
They'll take you more seriously because you're willing to try things and you're
Right.
showing that you're putting the effort in.
Yes. Well, and cooperation, even if you're reluctant, is really important.
Yeah.
Go through it, try it. Even if you are skeptical about it, give it a go just so that you have documented that you have done the steps that they want you to do.
Yeah.
Because that is really important in trying the things that you want to try.
Yeah. Literally the reason I was able to get my new pain management and have it be such an easy transition is that I've done all the things.
Yep.
I literally sat down and told her what I'm currently doing, what I've done in the past, what didn't work, and what was working.
Mm-hmm.
And she looked at me and she said, you've been through it. You're already doing everything I would suggest.
Yeah.
I will keep on moving forward.
Yep.
It was painless and wonderful.
Yeah. So make sure preempt some of those boxes that they're going to want to check.
Mm-hmm.
Are you exercising?
Get ready for PT. Get ready for a lot of PT.
PT's, yeah.
PT's
It's unavoidable.
the step. Let's try PT first. Let's do PT first.
Yeah.
Let's try PT first.
Yep.
Shoulder surgeries, hip surgeries, fucking back surgery I had to do PT for, beforehand. Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah, before they would do serious imaging.
Mm-hmm.
And then they found the back stuff on a scan for something else
Oh, wow.
when they were looking for
The
the
side
iliac.
pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Interesting story.
So bizarre. Yeah. So I don't know. It's going to be a journey, but find people who can support you.
Yes.
And if that means that you join our lovely Discord, welcome. We're all going through it. We've all been through it, and we're here to help and support you in your journey as well.
Mm-hmm.
So utilize your resources.
Yeah. And we have a good resource.
Yeah. And the people are going to be a really important resource for you just in general.
Yeah.
Because it's hard when you are isolated or you feel isolated throughout. It's also hard to look at things through a different lens or a different angle.
Yeah.
If you are isolated. So
yeah.
Expand that horizon. Cooperate with doctors, but also make sure that you are advocated for, and don't let yourself feel violated. If you leave an appointment feeling violated, that ain't it.
Yeah, no.
Mm-mm. And you'll know.
Oh, you'll know.
Oh, you'll know.
Boy, howdy.
You probably already know, right?
Sometimes you get left in the room and are left there to cry.
Yeah, that sucked. I didn't like that. I had therapy too. I was on the phone
right
with my
after.
therapist.
Crying.
Yes.
From
sobbing,
the doctor appointment.
Sobbing.
Yeah.
Uncontrollably.
She's a crybaby, right?
Oh, it was really bad.
What was I calling you yesterday? Baby. You're like, what are you going to call me, a baby now?
He's like, oh, you
You're
little
just like, "You
baby.
baby. Because I'm mean. I don't know if you've picked up on this, but I'm mean-hearted. Soft like a diamond. Made of plushies. Anyway.
Yeah. I think it's time to end it.
Yeah. We're good. I feel comfortable with that.
Good.
The advice.
Yeah. And then, even if you've done the classes, seek therapy. It's really good. Coping skills are important.
Mm-hmm.
Medication is secondary to coping skills, for sure.
Mm-hmm. And then, like we said, join us. If you
Yes.
have questions, throw comments down. Like, you don't have to be in the Discord.
Yeah.
Comment anywhere.
Yes.
TikTok, YouTube, anywhere you want. We'll respond. I promise.
Yes. Yes.
So.
And we get excited too. So we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, she gets messages at 3 a.m. when our UK friends message me, and I'm still awake.
He doesn't sleep.
I don't believe in it.
Check out last week's episode.
Ooh, shameful plug.
It's a mess.
But on that note.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us and for wandering through this journey with us. We really appreciate it, and we hope you gained something from it. If you did gain something from it, or you know someone who could, please like, share, subscribe, and leave us a comment. Always comment. We love to hear from you.
If you like what we're doing, support us by joining our Patreon.
Yeah.
We have like Patreon only content, and we'll be doing music reviews. I'm sorry, doggo. We'll get there.
Yes.
I promise.
You can also find us on TikTok for the really stupid, silly stuff.
Yeah, there's tons.
It's good stuff.
Good save. And
on that note, it is time we say goodbye. So, as always, be kind to you, be kind to others, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye. Ba-bow, we're done. Yeah, good job. I'm tired. My guts are starting to hurt again.
Yeah.
And I have tailbone shockies.
Ooh, tailbone
I
chakras.
don't like the tailbone shockies. They don't feel very nice.
Her tailbone chakras are out of whack. To give her another chakras.
Chakra.
She's got a little out of wacky alignment. She needs to get some crystals and smack them on her back and make it all in a line or something. I don't know. Jupiter's in Reno, Nevada, and I don't know anything.
Hi.